Hello, my name's Julie Williams. I'm a registered migration agent with Migration Downunder, and I'm here to talk about the upcoming changes for the 482 visa, or the temporary skilled shortage visa. It's about to be replaced by the skills and demand visa, and we haven't got an exact date yet as to when that is occurring. All we know that it's sometime in 2024, and with only about 6 weeks left, it can't be that far off. I suspect it will be early to mid-December when that does roll out. Now, the skills and demand visa is going to be replacing the 482 visa, and how that's going to look, there's going to be 3 different pathways. There's going to be the specialist pathway, the core pathway, and the essential skills pathway. The specialist pathway is for anybody earning a salary of $135,000 or more. That doesn't include superannuation, and it doesn't include occupations in trades and labourers, truck drivers, etc. And with the core occupation list, that's going to be a lot like the current TSS or 482 visa, with a lot of the generalist occupations where you've got to meet the TSMIT as well as having the market rate salary. TSMIT is currently $73,150, so you have to be earning above that and whatever the market is dictating for your particular occupation. So for example, marketing specialist, if marketing specialist, an Australian employee, would get $90,000, then the visa applicant also has to get $90,000. So you can't just earn that TSMIT. So nothing like that, nothing has changed with the skills and demand. It's exactly the same how it works currently. Then there's the essential skills pathway. Essential skills will be looking at occupations in hospitality and health and education and other areas as well. And it will be going through the labour agreements or the designated area migration agreements. And that's for occupations that are not on any other occupation list. And whilst talking about occupation lists, the occupation list currently, there's 2. There's the medium long-term and there's the the short-term skilled occupation list. And that's going to be replaced by one consolidated occupation list. How that looks, we're not yet sure, and that will roll out at the same time the skills and demand visa is to commence. I know it's really difficult in not knowing when that is going to happen, not knowing all the details. We're just waiting for a lot of the legislation to be passed in Parliament before the Department of Home Affairs can start advising and rolling out when this is going to be occurring. Changes that we do know that are happening are there's changes to anyone applying for the TSS 482 from the 23rd of November. You only need to show that you've got 1 year's full-time relevant experience. At the moment, the requirement for a 482 visa applicant is that you've got a minimum of 2 years full-time post-qualification experience, or sometimes in lieu of that qualification, 3 or 5 years relevant work experience, depending on your actual occupation. However, with the from the 23rd of November, you only need 1 year's relevant work experience. It must be post-qualification. It must be full-time. Full-time is 35 hours or more. It must be paid employment and must be verifiable. So that's what we do know that is occurring definitely from the 23rd of November 2024. Other things that are changing, the ANZSCO. What is ANZSCO? The ANZSCO is the Australian New Zealand Standard classifications of occupations. Such a mouthful, I know. And that's where the department classifies all their occupations, and that's what makes up the skilled occupation list. That hasn't changed in, gosh, I've been doing this for 25 years. In 25 years, it hasn't really changed. And it's finally going to change. So the occupations that are on that ANZSCO, or it's not going to be ANZSCO, it's going to be called OSCA, because it's only going to be relevant to Australia. Rather than combining New Zealand, it's going to be relevant to the Australian marketplace and have a lot of occupations that perhaps have only emerged in the last few years. So just to wrap up what's going to be happening by the end of 2024, We do know 23rd of November that you only need 12 months experience instead of 2 years if you're applying for a 482 visa. We do know that ANZSCO is going to be replaced by OSCA, and that's happening in the beginning of December, if I remember correctly, the 10th of December. And the other things that we're still unsure of the exact date, but we do know that it's going to be occurring, that the TSS 482 visa is going to be replaced by the Skills in Demand visa. Keep updated through our usual channels, subscribe to our newsletter, or give us a call or send us an email if you'd like to know more.